I read something yesterday that said that the most sacred promise you can make to yourself is, I will not self-abandon. So everything that I've been, focusing on, working through, teaching on recently in Wildly Wealthy, which is my 21-day program. You can join the free Wealth Wound Guide, which is a 7-day program, or join us in the 21-day program if you want to go deeper. But self-abandonment. I've just had this aha moment recently of how it's all connected. This wealth wound is a worthiness wound, and this worthiness wound's tendency is to self-abandon, not just in the sense of trying to receive money, but also to receive love. And if our true essence, what we are on the other side, is love and abundance, we self-abandon in order to try and receive ourselves. We're trying to come home to ourselves. We're trying to find ourselves. We're trying to find peace. And that peace comes from coming home. And we want so badly to come home to ourselves. This survival state is just trying to come home. But we're looking in the wrong places. We self-abandon. We leave the love and we leave the abundance and we leave our truth. We leave our desires and everything that is true to us in order to try and perform to receive those things. And then we're lost because the disconnect is the self-abandonment. And so how do we stop self-abandoning? Well, we have to start building trust. We have to start having self-trust. And so I also saw in this, I think it was from Carl Jung. And so if confidence is the roof, then self-trust is the foundation. We have to have that self-trust. And hold on, let me get my puppy. Yes, hello. We're still in Ireland here on our family farm. Figuring out the van. I got it driving and then it broke down again, and then the mechanic was, I'm looking at a ladybug right now too, if you guys know. Where is it? Dove. Here. She's getting ready for flight. Yeah, I have my horse in Italy that you guys helped me rescue named Ladybug, if you don't know. Isla, come here! And so the van is broken down again. The mechanic came yesterday, put a new battery in, and I'm just trusting the divine timing. And I've been looking at new vans. I've been looking at caravans. I've been looking at moving back to California and just getting a house there with a yard for the dogs. I don't know. I don't know yet. Part of me is ready just to come home. And if you guys remember in Switzerland, that thing that I was being downloaded with was, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And I was like, I don't really know what this means. And I just kept getting follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road. And that little download has come together in different ways. Here's another ladybug. And these are my sign usually. That one's kind of deformed though. And so yeah, I'm kind of sitting with that. I'm sitting with, how am I meant to come home to myself, and what feels true to me, and how do I not self-abandon? How do I hold myself in a place where I'm building more and more self-trust? And that is through letting go of attachment. Let me get them. Sorry, managing puppies and recording is the thing. So letting go of attachment. A lot of times people will go after their dreams, right? They'll go after, say it's for example, making a YouTube channel or online social media presence, and they go out with the goal of following their intuition, but then they get really caught up on trends, and they see that trends, following those dance videos or whatever gets them to go viral. This is just an example. And then they just do that, and they self-abandon because they're not posting what their intuition wants to post about. They're doing these trendy viral videos because they got caught up in the attachment of the viralness and the ego-ness and the self approval of others, because they're seeking that approval, that acceptance, because everyone just wants that unconditional love, right? We just want to come home to the love, and so we find it in places, we search in places that are not true. And so to build self-trust, we have to stop self-abandoning. We have to stop looking for acceptance and love and abundance in the places that are not in alignment with our truth. And going into alignment with our truth can be scary because it means stepping into the unknown. That's self-trust. It's trusting yourself enough to go into the unknown and do something that someone hasn't done before, or that people won't understand, that your friends and family won't understand, that your followers won't understand, that, whatever it is, they won't understand. Your coworkers, your boss won't understand, but you will understand. You will know that that is what you've been called to do. And so this isn't just like a progression. Like a lot of clients I've had will come to me and they'll be like, a few years ago I took a leap and it didn't work out. I went broke. I traveled the world. I tried to be free. I went broke. I had to go back. I had to do the whole thing over again, get a 9-to-5, blah, blah, blah. It's because we take this leap and then we forget about the in-between. We forget about building the self-trust, about working through the patterns, the subconscious beliefs, the blocks, that got us to the point before. And so if we don't work through those patterns, heal those wounds, and we just try and leap away from them, all we're doing is just responding from survival mode. We're just getting into flight and we're running away from them and hoping that things will change. You can't just run away from these things. You have to move through them, and moving through them is painful often, but the pain is a choice. The pain is an illusion as well. And so we can sit in these uncomfortable things. We can sit with the parts of us that got us to experiencing the lack and the uncomfortable relationships and all of that, and sit in it and sit in the wound and bring awareness to it. And that's how we heal it. And that's how we move through it. And then we start to build self-trust. Little by little, we start to say, how can I self-trust more? You can make, in my Wildly Wealthy today, in the exercise, stupid fly. In the exercise, I had everyone do, or this was yesterday, but write down 5 ways that things that you will hold yourself accountable to today, pretty much. And they're not big things, right? It's not like I'm gonna change my whole life. I'm gonna, start 100% vegan today. I'm gonna run 5 miles. I'm gonna wake up at 4 a.m. I'm gonna start that business. It's not that. It's like, I'm going to close my eyes and focus on my breath for 5 minutes today. I'm gonna stretch for a few minutes today. When I watch my show later tonight, I'm gonna stretch. Or, things that you can actually know for certain that you will do. And then at the end of the day, you're checking it off. And when you check it off, you're building that self-trust. So you're finding this video today because you're ready to do this, because you're ready for the leap, you're ready for the big thing, you're ready to attract wealth, you're ready to heal the worthiness wound, you're ready to be in the most loving, accepting, wonderful, freeing relationship where you get to be who you are, they get to be who they are, you guys get to build together, explore together, expand together, love together, laugh together, live, love, laugh. You guys get to be in this wonderful divine union, not just in your romantic relationship, but in your friendships. You see each other, you expand each other, you support each other. There's no competition. It's just support, expansion. This also comes with the thing that I think I have to end this with is that there are people in your life who, they love you. Everything's love. Everything is love at the root. But they don't want to see you grow. They don't want you to expand. They don't want you to expand and grow more than them. And maybe they always express that by putting you down and laughing at the things that you do. And, or they just celebrate you, but not that much. And when you get a bit bigger than you were before, they question oh, are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to do that? Well, that's kind of strange. That's not what you said 5 years ago that you wanted. Be really mindful of those people and those connections. And if you can, create space. There's a part, where you can stand up for yourself and point out what they're doing. And if they can't meet you and say yeah, that's what I'm doing. I had a friend who was doing that a few years ago. We had a conversation about it, and she was very self-aware, and so she got to the point where she was able to apologize. And then I've had people in my life recently who have came into my orbit who would laugh at things that I'm doing and put me down, and I was just hey, what is this here? Like, why is this happening? And it's continuously putting me down, putting me down. And I just had to say, like, look, we can't have a relationship like this. Like, this doesn't support me. And if you can't accept me for who I am, then, like, I love you, but at a distance. And I'm also a fire-breathing dragon sometimes. And I will defend myself as well. And I think that that is important sometimes. Not that, like, you know, you should ruin your peace for, like, standing up for yourself or, like, explaining yourself. But I also will make my boundaries known, like a line of fire from a dragon if I have to. And maybe that's the Aries in me, and maybe that's a protective mechanism. But I think that, you know, if no one else is standing up for you and no one else is protecting you right now, sometimes you have to be that for yourself and fiercely stand up for yourself, because you fiercely know yourself and you fiercely love yourself and you fiercely trust yourself. So I want to say know who you are, but also you will learn who you are the more that you build that self-trust, the more that you stop self-abandoning, the more that you let go of attachment to how you think it has to be, and you trust yourself and you trust your intuition to take you there to places that no one else will understand. You will heal, you will expand, you will grow, you will be free, you will have all the money that you desire. Again, you'll have the love that you desire. So this is a really important video, I think. And a really important message that has been forming and coming through in the past few weeks and coming together. And so really in Wildly Wealthy, that's like where all these dots are connecting. So if you want to join Wildly Wealthy, it's not just about wealth of money, it's like wealth of life, but the worthiness wound and learning to self-trust, stop self-abandoning so that you can be your wealthiest self. So I invite you to that space. I'll link it below, and I'll link below all my other courses and retreats and everything. We have the retreat in October too, if you want to join that, to apply to that. I'm going to change the application for that because Google Forms, it's the same thing as on the farm in Italy. Like, the application for that, we get volunteer applications all the time and they don't come through. And so I've been wondering, I'm like, maybe some of the applications are not coming through for the retreat. So I'm going to change that, I think. So it'll be a new link. If you've applied before and you didn't hear back from me and you want to come to the retreat, it could be just because I didn't get your application. So I will link that below as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.